Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa. Thanks for joining me here on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. In this video, I'm sharing how I foil the new black and white slimline prints. I have a few tips I'm going to share with you throughout the video. But first, let's talk about supplies and what it is about this paper that allows us to foil it. You will need a laminator or a hot foiling machine for this technique. I'm using a Mink machine and I have it set on the 3 setting. If you have a laminator, I suggest that you test a small piece of the paper to get the settings just right. So this is going to be my #1 tip for you guys. Let your machines heat up. With a laminator, you need to let it heat up for about 20 minutes. With a hot foiling machine, it doesn't take quite as long. So while you're gathering all your supplies together, just let your machine heat up. You will need transfer foil like the Deco foil you see here. You're going to need 2 things for this. You need heat and a bonding adhesive. The bonding adhesive for us is the toner ink on our pattern paper. I'm going to go ahead and start to cut some red foil so I can get this in the machine and get busy making these cards. So for me, when I'm cutting them, I prefer to use a self-healing mat, a craft knife, and a ruler to cut. If you have a great pair of scissors, those work just as well. I just like the precision I get with the craft knife and the ruler. I feel like I have less waste when I'm using it this way. Notice how I'm cutting the foil larger than the paper that we're foiling. That way, when I go to feed this into the hot foil machine, if it shifts any, I have a little bit of wiggle room. I have had that happen to where I've sent the carrier pouch through the machine and the paper shifted a little bit and part of the paper didn't foil. So that gives us a little bit of wiggle room. Next biggest tip, dust the back of the foil and dust your pattern paper off with a swiffer. I recommend using a swiffer. Some people use like a large paintbrush, a fluffy paintbrush, or a makeup brush, but I recommend a swiffer because it picks up the dust and holds on to it. All right, we're going to put this in a carrier sheet to send it through the machine. And you want to make sure when you put it in, it's laying flat like you see here. There's no wrinkles in the foil. Everything is nice and flat. When you take this out of the machine, don't just take the foil off of it. Let it cool down some. If you see anything, give it a good rub while it's still warm and just let it cool down and then remove the foil, and you're going to get the best possible results by using these tips. Here you can see you can use the leftover foil. They make clear toner sheets that you could foil that onto if you wanted to. So for the cards that I made, A2 cards using slimline paper, we love to use our products for more than what they were meant for. With the Whimsy Stamps ABC bold die set, and then of course the postage window A2 die, I went ahead and did all the die cutting off screen, but you can see all the pieces there on the right hand side. I'm just going to center this black die cut piece up on an A2 card base. I'm adding 2 foam square adhesives to each block so that I can line up these little postage cutouts that I have with the foiled paper. Now I also picked a black and white print from the paper pack, the Dog Prints paper pack, to add to this as well, and I am going to use black cardstock on it too. I just love the red, the white, and the black, and then we're going to use gold foiled letters for our sentiment. So these are just simple high cards, but you could use them for just about anything you wanted to. And I love this quilted look with that red foiled pattern paper and then the black and white. Now for the next card, I'm actually not going to use the black die cut piece. I'm going to die cut a template out of scrap paper, and I'm going to lay that over my card base and go ahead and lay the square foams down. So while I was doing this, I was like, as long as I have the foams in the general area, we're okay. When you get ready to start adding all your little die cut pieces to your card base, you want to secure that template down so it doesn't shift. Because when you're laying squares down like this, it's important that you keep them lined up. So I just used purple tape on the bottom and the top to hold that template down, and then placed all of my die cut pieces where I wanted them. Now when I'm placing these, it's what's appealing to me. I don't follow design rules. It's just whatever looks good to the eye. So have fun with this. So once we have these all laid down, we'll go ahead, remove the purple tape and the template, and then we're going to foil our letters. So when I die cut these letters out from the Bold ABC die set, I went ahead and added double-sided tape to my cardstock before I die cut the letters out. I'm removing that release paper from that double-sided adhesive, and we're going to lay these down on some gold foil, and then we're going to burnish them. You can burnish them with your finger. I'm using this old Martha Stewart embossing stylus I have to go around the edges to make sure the foil is sticking to the edges, and I found that by doing that, I was getting much better results with this foiling technique. So this goes to show you can foil without a hot foiling machine. You won't be able to foil the pattern paper without a hot foiling machine or laminator, but if you wanted to add some type of foil to your projects, you can do it with double-sided adhesive. You can foil the little strips of foam adhesive that I like and add some dimension like that to your projects. There's so many ways you can add foil to your project without heat. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about this paper in the comments below. As always, everything is linked below for more information. You can head over to the Whimsy Stamps website and check the products out there. And until next time, please know how much we appreciate you and take care.